And now I get to introduce the phenomenal CEO of Myavana, Miss Candace Mitchell.
All right, so I was going to wait to the end to cry, so welcome. You guys are meeting my special people in my life who have helped me get to this point of our 12-year company anniversary. And I am very overjoyed. It really feels like we're in the future. And the purpose of us being here today is to establish Myavana as the leading beauty tech company in the hair industry, and also to do that with all of you. The unique thing about Myavana is we have a partnership business model. And so all of the special guests that you will hear from today are our partners who are aligning with us in our mission to transform the hair industry through science and technology. And so I truly want to thank my mother for helping me get to this point on this faith walk. I want to thank my professor, Merrick, who really showed me the bigger world that I was called to serve. I want to thank Donnie for being a fellow founder friend on this journey and now leading in the city of Atlanta, which is also very important to me, and we'll talk about that today. And my spiritual advisor, Andrea Ward. It takes a village, y'all. That's what I'm trying to show y'all, okay? It takes a village. So today, I am going to, again, have fireside chats and panels with our partners who are leading this next phase of our business with us. But before that, I'm going to take you on a little trip down memory lane of some of our key company milestones so that you can actually see how this transformation is taking place. Also, Merrick left me 2 books to give away. So the amazing thing about that picture in Flashpoint is I didn't know what I was really learning by being in that accelerator. So I thought I was coming to learn business, but I was truly understanding how to create something that innovates an industry and how to really introduce that in the world. And what he did is actually packaged it in a book. It's called The Heart of Innovation. It is amazing. It's a field guide for navigating to authentic demand. And I'm gonna show you what that authentic demand looks like. But when he says he's probably the best person to talk to, he is. And many of you in this room are as well, but I believe that this is where Myavana sits, the heart of innovation for the hair industry. So that's what we're going to show you all today. Now, before I welcome my first guest, I'm going to take you down memory lane. So next, please. So this was the last time I was standing right here in this very spot in the Klaus Advanced Computing Building. So this was my senior thesis, and my amazing team at the time, I actually intentionally decided to take a senior class that was called Computing for Good, because I was very disconnected in my classes, because I just couldn't see myself like becoming a programmer and just working for a company, right? Like, that was very boring to me. And so I had to really connect technology with something that I was passionate about, which is hair care. But the other thing I'm also passionate about is social impact, and we're going to talk about that today. But our particular project at the time was a collaborative platform for an internet cafe, so that everyone working in the internet cafe could network, share information, and this was in a region that had no internet connectivity. So I was really passionate about the digital divide at that time, but I wanted to illustrate the power of belief because the picture may not look like it, but I was struggling. I was struggling, and it was not easy. Next slide. So the very first time, I was actually in this room right here, presenting my undergraduate research in information security. So this is the significance of us being here today, because it was really when God started giving me witty ideas and inventions. And so what I decided to do was apply everything that I was learning and researching and apply it to this hair idea. So I understood the concept of undergraduate research, and I was like, okay, I'm going to create my own research project because my hair is drying out and breaking off, and I need to know what's going on with it. And I was asking my friends, my sisters at the time, and nothing was working. So I started emailing professors on campus and asking if I could use their lab space, because when I did my research, I saw that there was this microscopic technology where you could actually see the physical condition of your hair strands. So the answer to the problem was, I can just create an algorithm that takes the variables of my hair and match it to the variables of products that will work best for me. So that's how my mind works. And so I took this approach of research, and at that time it was for SAIC, and I said, okay, I'm going to do research for my own company one day. And that led to many other significant moments. Next. I really want to thank the College of Computing at Georgia Tech, because when I tell you that although it was a very lonely place at times, we really created a family here, and especially the Black people, okay? Because the Black people was not a lot of us, but we stuck together. But Cedric Stallworth, I don't think he could be here today, but he was like the captain of the cool kids. I mean, he acted like he was really in college with us, but he created that camaraderie that made it feel like, okay, if I'm struggling, I can come here and learn and figure it out. And I think that that's very important, to be in environments where it feels okay to fail, or it feels okay to tell people that I don't have it all together, but let's hang out, get some pizza, and we'll just, work on this code until we get it. And so this was my family. Some of you all may recognize Joy Bowen-Winnie, one of my co-founders, who is leading in AI policy right now. Her book, Unmask AI, is phenomenal. I encourage you to get it. And Jasmine Lawrence, she's the founder and CEO of Eden Body Works, but she was my mentee at the time, but she didn't tell me she was an undercover CEO. So I'm Googling this girl, and I'm like, you're on Oprah, but you're in this robotics class, and you want to pursue a path in robotics. So let's talk, because I love hair and technology too. So she's like one of my sister friends, but we came out of tech. And we really just believed and had boldness. So I'm really grateful I had other people who were bold with me. So the journey continues. I'm going to tell you how we landed to 12 years later in probably 12 seconds. But next, please. That led to the start of Texturize. Okay, so a lot of you may know I started with 3 co-founders, and salute to all of them. This is the reason why this is called the Texturize Beauty Tech Summit, because Texturize is actually our corporate company name. But it was the way we could describe that we wanted to infuse technology and texture of hair and really figure out the uniqueness of your hair, and that's what the logo represented. And we later rebranded to Myavana for our consumer product, but Texturize has really always been our anchor, but now we see it's because of the infusion of technology that we would provide to other companies. We now call that Powered by Myavana, which we're going to talk about today. But this is where the journey began when Merrick mentioned 4 Black female computer scientists and chemical engineers. We really wanted to really change the face of technology at the time as well, that Black women could also lead tech companies. And so as we go on, if you can just click through all of the moments, this is what we like to call authentic demand. So y'all see my face, right? I was kind of freaking out. So when we did, there's this process of customer discovery where you have your business idea, right? you have to actually go out and talk to people and make sure that customers will actually buy into, or you're actually solving their problem, right? So our first customer discovery moment was at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show in 2012. We got a booth. We talked to thousands and thousands of women about their hair. But there was a few significant people that we met. One of them is Robin D. Groover, which you hear from in a few minutes. The other person was Lisa Price from Carol's Daughter. And her booth was like right across from ours. And the most eye-opening thing to me at that time was we went there targeting consumers, but actually businesses were coming to us. So businesses were like, okay, I think you're on to something with this technology platform for hair. Let's see what's possible, right? So we also met two significant people that ended up inviting us to the Carol's Daughter store in Lenox Mall. So they basically said, come on in, set up, and at the time it was a hair journey platform. We knew that people were on a journey with their hair, meaning that every hairstyle has a story, right? So when you change your hair, something is happening in your life, right? And we wanted to capture those moments. We wanted to start catering to, okay, people are evolving as they're going through this hair journey, and we were just kind of following where the market led us. Well, that led us to, next slide, we keep going. We figured out the issue, so I got my smile back on my face, right? Okay, next. It led to almost 500 people joining the Myavana platform. These were our early users who actually, does anyone know Myleik Teal from Curlbox? Okay. So at the time, remember Birchbox was growing, the subscription box service? There was a subscription box that launched called Curlbox. They just ended up closing that business, but at the time, everyone wanted to get this box. There were basically samples of hair products, but it had such a draw. And what I love was that people like her, people like Lisa Price, were willing to bring us onto their platform to help us reach our market, right? Next picture. And the line was that was just inside the store. So the line was around the building. And we started in June 2012. This was August 2012. So this is where the journey began and how it all happened, just incrementally, users and customers, at a time, getting to the next milestone. But the biggest eye-opening thing was that we actually have a B2B market as well. And we're going to hear a lot about the B2B side because that's really supercharging our growth right now. So to go further in the journey, I'm going to be conscious of time because I can talk all day. If you keep continuing on through the journey, just keep on clicking through. All right, so learned how to pitch, ended up, after we launched, I'm like, okay, we have to raise money. We have to talk to the press. So all these moments you're seeing, we're learning as we go. This was our first office, pause here. This was our first office space on Peter Street. Shout out to Tanisha. Where's Tanisha? Our chief research analyst. You remember that moment? So Tanisha joined our team from Spelman. Asia was our first hair analyst from Georgia Tech. Anya, one of our first partner stylists, and Phyllis Ashley on customer service. So we were like, okay, y'all, we have to serve these customers and really figure this out. But that was a great moment. I believe CNN came to interview us. Keep going. I would say that 2016 Peter Street was the seed. And then 3 years later, in order to automate our business and scale it, I had to figure out how to automate the process of hair analysis. And that's what led to Hair AI. So instead of us having to analyze all these strands, because our orders are backing up, my mom can tell y'all, customer service was a nightmare at that time. It was kind of rough. But to automate it and scale it, I was like, we can just use machine learning. All we have to do is now take all these images of the hair strands we've analyzed in the lab, train them, identify the unique texture type and condition, and then we can just analyze it from a photo. And so that took us about 3 years, but we finally got the prototype, and that became how we invented Hair AI. And so discovering the uniqueness of your hair instantly, again, this is our world, what we love, and you'll hear all of the experts today. But this is where things started to scale and grow. So continue on in the journey, continue on. We met our first ambassadors. Carrie! So this was our very first commercial when we finally launched Hair AI.
Why are you not ready yet? And what is going on with that hair?
I know. I just woke up.
You ever heard of Myavana?
Maya, what?
Okay. What is that?
Okay, let's just
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
So, it's an app for your smartphone. So all you have to do is download the app, take a picture, and it'll analyze your hair and tell you exactly what products work best for your hair.
No way.
You look fabulous.
See, I told you.
it.
You were right. See,
Myavana.
have you subscribed?
Late.
That's cool, right? So Hair AI, our first launched with 3 brand ambassadors. Do y'all recognize these ladies? So this happened from an email. I met LaToya Luckett at Essence Festival. This girl that we hired for marketing at the time, she was like, yeah, let's just email them. The email's on the Instagram. I was like, you're right. So we emailed her and had a meeting.
Thank you,
LaToya
Mary.
came to our office. We were meeting in Studio House at the time.
Reflection
And that led
remembrance.
to our first celebrity brand ambassador. So now we're taking off. We're trying to get the Myavana plane off the runway. Keep going, keep going. So this is when I can say, okay, this is how it started, but this is how it's going. So Adventure Prize, Georgia Tech, that's the poster board that Merrick mentioned. That was when I first presented in the CRC on campus. And then this is when it was like, okay, now the market is finally understanding us. This is when they realized the headlines were saying, oh, this app helps you create a personalized hair care plan. And so that is when, okay, we're like, all right, here we go. We're really making our mark. And so this continues on. I'm going to tell you the moment how we connected with Robin, our chief hair officer. You can keep going. So as we're taking off, right, we're meeting all the people who start to resonate and support our brand. So Viola Davis, she wanted to get her hair together because she swims every day, actually. Or she tries to. She has an active fitness regimen. And we were invited to this Oscar suite through someone we met, I think, at a trade show or something. So this is how God is guiding us, okay? Because I didn't plan any of this. But it's like the more you put yourself out there, the more you get your product into the hands of the right people, then it's like, okay, such and such actually wants to work with us. So we met Viola, we met Queen Latifah. She's also amazing. Keep going. Gail Bean, you guys will hear from her today. She is our current ambassador and actually one of my best friends. And Crystal, you'll hear from soon. So we got more and more support behind Myavana. Johnny Wright, Michelle Obama's hairstylist, Nicole, who is Oprah's hairstylist, and Jessie Wu, who wanted to be here today, one of our current ambassadors. You guys are going to hear about a special project that she's working on. So this has been the journey of Myavana, all powered by the Dream Team. I always love to shout out our Dream Team who makes it happen. And a lot of people ask, but yes, we do have men on our team too. So the men are behind the scenes. You all can't see them, but they making sure Myavana stays on point pretty much. We got to shout out to the Myavana men. Shout out, y'all. Shout out, shout out. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, like we've got nothing like this in the UK where people can get a real diagnosis.
I wish you could really hear this, but
And it's so difficult for people to understand like what's the right product for them. And that's one big thing we've identified on Shea. We need to educate consumers to navigate the range. But this tool has really helped us today. The sales have been amazing. Like we've almost sold out of product.
Oh, that's
And so
incredible.
tomorrow we've got more.
This was our launch with Shea Moisture.
Waiting just to do this tour. And so it's been such a blessing, and we can't actually wait to roll this out now in the UK.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
So this was a live testimonial. I was like, can someone please record this? Because you can cut it down. So the more and more we got the product out there, our B2B partnerships started to pick up. So this is actually our launch with Shea Moisture. We did a hair AI integration with Find Your Shea on SheaMoisture.com, and it actually launched in the UK. First launched in the UK, then Paris, and now the US. So this was in the UK, and I know it's kind of hard to understand with her accent, but she was just telling me how great it was, and they actually sold out of all of their product. The next one, orientation is off, but this was our launch with Nordstrom. So with Nordstrom, we did a hair AI kiosk beauty bar. So for those of you who don't know, Nordstrom Beauty's category is growing in for hair care, and we are actually going to be doing something great with Nordstrom soon. Next, keep going. What this ultimately showed us was, and actually the last major case study is with Ulta. So a lot of you all know we recently integrated hair AI with the #1 beauty retailer, Ulta. And this was significant because, again, the trade shows work for us because we can see and demo the product in real life. We can answer all your questions. You can meet the whole team. I mean, we can do the deal like now, right? So this was the launch moment, but through our partnership network, we ended up getting a booth at CES, and Robin and I said, what retailer haven't we worked with yet? And we said, Ulta. And then a few minutes later, I kid you not, their digital innovation team walked up. So I think the Lord is definitely hearing our prayers because it led to our launch with Ulta, and it continues on. So I want to prepare to bring up our Chief Hair Officer. If you can keep going.
Hi, everyone. We're so excited to be back at CES this year.
This was our demo. What this showed us was, we're actually creating a B2B ecosystem. All right? So this ecosystem is literally comprised of every sector of the hair industry, and it actually represents a visual of how I saw Myavana from the beginning. Remember I said the heart of innovation, right? I saw us as the heart of the hair industry that has a constant pulse on the consumer, what the consumer needs for their hair, products, services, regimens, content, everything. And all companies can plug into Myavana. And that's what our API integrations became. So this is how our network is forming to date. You see a lot of brands, retailers. These are people that we've been working with behind the scenes, partnerships, pilots that you all will see will launch soon. We're expanding into salons and stylists, which you guys will hear today, through our stylist Myavana Pro. You guys are going to hear more about that today. And we're also working with cosmetology schools to train up cosmetologists in technology using Myavana's products. So this is what 12 years has produced. And let me tell you, you can pause right here, that yes, it's a journey. I understand that now. I wish I understood that years ago and accepted it, but now I truly understand why. But it is because of amazing people, and as Andrea mentioned in prayer, destiny helpers who come along and help you get to that destination. So I want to welcome our first guest, Miss Robin D. Groover, who needs no introduction, but we are going to talk about how we aligned in transforming the hair industry. Robin, if you can go ahead and come up, and I need 2 men to help us reset the stage and remove the 2 chairs on the end. While they do that, we're going to prepare to welcome Robin. And to give you how today is going to flow, we're going to have panels and fireside chats all day. We are going to have lunch, light bites. So actually, I invited our vendors are from the Beltline Business Ventures Accelerator. So we have Mr. Mason right here from Mason Super Dogs, and we have some other amazing businesses. We're going to break in a little bit for lunch. We're going to have some ice cream, too, because it's hot, y'all, right? We're going to take a break for that. We're going to have a really amazing program, and we're going to end with Taste of Texture with our brand ambassadors, some fun, some drinks, some more music. And again, I'm just happy that you all are here to celebrate with us. So, without further ado, yes.